In the quiet corners of home gardens, between the rustling leaves of cabbages and the bold crowns of tomatoes, there lies a secret so simple, so profoundly natural, that generations of gardeners tried to keep it hidden. A secret born not from laboratories, but from fields, farms, and the ancient biology of the soil beneath our feet. Today, we lift the veil on a humble ingredient, one that can make your soil burst, quite literally, with life. Beneath every harvest, beneath every thriving plant, lies an unseen world more complex than any jungle. A kingdom of microorganisms, roots, fungi, and invisible exchanges. It is in this world that molasses, the thick, dark, syrupy byproduct of sugar production, performs its quiet miracle. While gardeners often look upward, to the leaves, the flowers, the fruits, the real magic happens downward. In the dark, in the damp, in the unseen. This is where molasses begins its work. And this is the root hack many gardeners hoped would remain their winning secret. Molasses is more than sugar, more than sweetness. It is, biologically speaking, pure microbial fuel. Every drop is packed with natural sugars, trace minerals like calcium, magnesium and potassium, iron and organic compounds that soil bacteria feed on. When added to the soil, molasses acts like a feast for microorganisms. They consume the sugar rapidly, awakening from dormancy and multiplying at astonishing rates. Some gardeners describe it as switching on the soil. The moment molasses seeps downward, the soil begins to breathe. Literally. Microbes ignite into activity. Fungi begin threading their hyphae like ancient highways. Earthworms rise toward the scent of microbial abundance. And thus, the soil, once quiet, begins to move. In nature, plants do not grow on fertilizer. They grow on relationships. Beneath the surface, roots trade sugars for nutrients. Microbes fetch nitrogen, phosphorus and trace minerals, bartering with plants in a silent economy billions of years old. But these microscopic workers need fuel. And, well, simple carbohydrates, like those found in molasses, are their most powerful spark. When molasses is added to soil, microbial populations increase, root exudation becomes more efficient, nutrient uptake improves, soil structure stabilizes, and water retention increases. Plants respond as though they've been awakened. Leaves deepen in color, growth becomes vigorous, root systems thicken and extend. The garden is no longer simply growing, it is thriving. For decades, small-scale farmers, especially in regions growing sugarcane, discovered an unusual pattern. The parts of their fields, drenched in runoff from molasses tanks, always produced deeper green plants, faster growth and richer yields. They saw it in maize, they saw it in beans, they saw it in fruit trees and vines. Yet the secret rarely left the farms. Why? Because those who knew understood its power. And just like many natural farming tricks, it was passed quietly from one generation to another, spoken softly between farmers leaning over fences, or shared only with trusted neighbors. Today, that knowledge is open for all. Here is exactly how to use this remarkable soil-activating technique. First, choose the right molasses. Use unsulfured blackstrap molasses, as it is rich in minerals, clean and, well, truly beneficial to soil microbes. Next, you'll want to mix it properly. For garden soil, use 1 tablespoon per 1 litre of water. For established trees, that's a 1/4 cup in 10 litres of water. And if you're tending to compost piles, use half a cup diluted in 5 litres of warm water. Then apply the roots. Pour the solution directly at the base of the plant, allowing it to seep deep into the root zone. Finally, use it monthly. Once every 3 to 4 weeks is enough to sustain a thriving microbial population. Once molasses reaches the soil, the transformation is unmistakable. Gardeners routinely report faster seedling growth, drastically improved soil texture, an increase in earthworms, better flowering and fruiting, stronger resistance against pests, and, of course, plants with deeper colour and firmer stems. But it's not the molasses feeding the plant, it's the molasses feeding the life that feeds the plant. And that is where the magic lies. Chemical fertilizers provide nutrients, yes, but they do nothing for the ecosystem of the soil. They feed the plant directly, bypassing the living network of microbes that creates long-term health and resilience. Molasses, by contrast, strengthens the very foundation of plant life. It enhances the soil food web, natural nitrogen cycling, mycorrhizal colonization, and beneficial bacterial populations. The result is soil that doesn't just grow plants, it supports them, protects them, and regenerates itself. This is why gardeners who use the molasses root hack often describe their soil as alive. Because, well, it truly is. In a world where gardening advice grows increasingly complex, sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones. Molasses, dark, humble, sticky, carries within it the ancient language of the soil. A language microbes understand. A language roots respond to. A language nature has always spoken. This root hack is no longer buried. It is yours now. Use it and watch your soil explode with life.